the most amazing Kate Sawa.
So typically, a crowd is warmed up. So thanks, Rachel, for shooting some jokes and Adam for standing up. So you're probably thinking, that is Kate Sawa from our church up there. Where is the comedian? I guarantee you, you are not alone in thinking this. The entire room is thinking the same thing. No, but really, thank you for coming out. You know, I am thrilled to be up here with you guys. You guys look amazing. Except for that guy who wore the jeans. Did you not get the email? I kid. So I was in church a couple months ago, and some of the leadership came up to me, and they said, Kate, we're having this couples night. And I was like, okay, cool, tell me more. And they said, we wanted to know if you would be in the program. And I'm like, go on, yeah. And 100% confident they're gonna ask me to give marriage tips with my husband. And they proceed to say, Kate, will you do the comedy act? And so they think my amateur comedy act brings more value than any kind of marriage tips. I think they're saying something. I'm not sure what they're saying, but I think they're saying something. Now, I feel like there is an elephant in the room I would just like to address. So typically, I'm going to be doing a lot of content around couples and marriage. My husband is right over there, okay? He has provided me very graciously a great amount of content to use tonight. He knows everything I am saying. You do not have to worry about his feelings, okay? We are all in this together. But as I go along, you know, and tonight, and I'm really excited to talk to you about couples and marriage and where it's going. When, you know, they've been doing a lot of promotion for tonight. Rachel was doing it in the videos, Pastor was doing it on stage, talking about this couples night and everything that was going to go on. And I'm really excited, but I want to remind us all, we should probably keep our expectations low, okay? Real low. Then you and I in 20 minutes are going to be in a great place. Now, I'll tell you who is keeping their expectations low, and that's my children. I told them that I was doing comedy, and their response was, you are not funny. To which I said, well, someone clearly thinks that I am, okay? My 7-year-old has been following me, I kid you not, day after day for 3 weeks, convincing me that her jokes from her Laugh Out Loud Kids Joke book are of value, and I have to use them. So why did the hot dog not get any good movie roles? Or not get it into the, oh, I screwed it up. She's gonna be so ticked at me. I'm never gonna live it down and I mess it up. But anyways, kids, you know, kids are great. Kids come from marriage. They actually really don't come from marriage. They come from something else, but the pastor's there, so we're not gonna go there today. But I am interested in marriage. How many years have you guys been married? Shout it out. Awesome, amazing. You guys are so good at that. One, shout out to the newlyweds. I see you. You know, when people ask me that question, I'm like, can you give me a minute? And to which they think, you don't know when you were married. I do know when I was married, but I'm pretty sure you just lobbed a math question at me. And so I'm gonna need a minute or two to get through to that answer. You know, in marriage, there's all these phases you kind of go through, and a lot of times you start with premarital counseling. I don't know if anybody did that out there, premarital counseling. So my husband and I did it, and you know when you're a newlywed, you're like so googly-eyed about each other, and you're looking at each other like you're in total euphoria. And we were getting this counseling from this older couple, and I think they were irritated with us because they kept saying, this is gonna be hard. We're like, okay. And it's not gonna be this easy. We're like, okay, sure. And then they made us make all these commitments. And so some of the commitments are like, don't go to bed angry, and make sure that you give each other love and respect. Make sure that you always say you're sorry. And then my husband's like, I would like another commitment from Kate. I would like her to commit to watching all 6 of the Rocky movies before we get married. And I was like, well, if that's all he needs, if that's the commitment I have to make for him, I'm gonna nail this thing. Like, I can say, yo, Adrian, pretty well. You know? So, from premarital counseling, get married, next day we go on our wedding. And go on our honeymoon. Get married, go on our honeymoon. So we had this friend that worked for an airline, and they gave us 2 tickets to anywhere in the world. This is totally true, like the best wedding present ever. So we go to Greece, and we go to northern Greece, we go to Athens, we go to Santorini. We're 2 days into the honeymoon, and I start getting covered in red, painful boils. This is real, people. So this is real life. So I'm getting covered in these boils, and I'm like, this is supposed to be like the sexiest moment of your life. Like, you are supposed to be in these crazy, intimate experiences, and I'm like, what do you think of this, honey? You know? And he's thinking, did I say the full till death do us part? Like, did I say the line? You think it probably ends there, but it doesn't. So the boils start getting more painful, and they are now randomly exploding. Okay? Yeah. This is real content. So they're randomly exploding. At this point, we're like, okay, we got to get like some medical attention. But the hard part is when, if you've ever heard that idiom, it's all Greek to me, that's because when people talk in Greek, you literally have no idea what they're talking about. No idea. So we have to find a taxi. We find a taxi, and what I want to say is, can we go to the hospital? And if I was in Spain, they would have been like, oh, hospital. But I'm in Greece, which, if you want to know how to say hospital in Greece, it's nosocomodias. You can't see the leap from hospital to nosocomodias. But we approach this taxi driver, and I guess my boils are so terrifying to him, he ends up taking me to the hospital anyway. We are in a Greek hospital, in a hospital room. I'm sitting on a hospital bed. A doctor comes in, doesn't say a word to either of us, sizes us both up, whips my arms up, throws my shirt up, and proceeds to look at the boils all over my abdomen, to my 3-day-old husband's terror. So then he gives us a piece of paper covered in shapes, which was also what Greek language looks like if you've never seen it. Somehow we figure out how to fill it. I get this ointment and I cover my body with it. It does help mildly. We get home, I go see a doctor, and what I found out I had was something called hot tub folliculitis. You know that thing they say where hot tubs should be hot? You should totally believe that. Like, that is, take it to the grave. That's a real thing. And then they told me that the doctor we had seen had given me a cream for an STD. So that's legitimately what I had been bathing in for 7 days straight. So that's how our marriage started. I mean, there's like nowhere you can go but up. Like, that's where we were. We were just going straight up. So, after you get married, sometimes you have kids. We had kids. And so, you have your first kid, you're like you're just great. Like, oh my gosh, we were gathered around the pregnancy test. We're like, is the plus sign gonna come up? The plus sign comes up, you're so thrilled. We have our second kid. This time we found out we were pregnant right around Thanksgiving. So we invited my family and his family over. And as we put Thanksgiving out on the table, we put out rolls and we said, there's another bun in the oven. Like, I can't even believe I said that we did that. Like, that is the most lame thing ever. Then, this is when things start to change for me. Because a few years later, I get that feeling again like I'm pregnant. And so I take a test, and this is how you know I must have been like, I think I was done. I took it, the plus came up, and I just threw it away. I proceeded to walk into the kitchen with a deadpan face and told my husband, go look in the trash. He did a normal response of like, what is it? Is it a roach? What could it be? I'm like, just look in the trash. That is how I told him we were pregnant with our third child. We did have one more after that. So now our kids are 14, 12, 7, and 2. Same husband. The reason I say that is because recently someone said, I told the ages of my kids and they go, same husband? And I'm like, same husband. And then I go, I bet for 2.5 years, everyone has been asking me that question and has literally never said it. So everyone thinks like, how many baby daddies does she have? 2, 3 baby daddies? I have one, and it's that man over there. I'd just like to let you know. So what is life like these days? You know, my husband, he does all of the cooking for us. He cooks me dinner every night. Most women are like, are you serious? Like, you totally scored. And I want to be like, I actually am really helping him out. I am allowing him to know how to court me. What do I like? What's my love language? My love language is dinner. Dinner's my love language. You know, I have not cooked dinner for so long, like I don't even know what to do in the kitchen. I see meat, I'm like, do I boil it? Like, I don't even know. At the end of the day, if for some reason he's not home and I have to feed the family, I open up the fridge and I'm like, well, I guess we're just having pickles. Because that's the only thing I know what to do with. You know, we recently had these hurricanes. When these hurricanes come, you like go through your life, you take all these photos out, all this memorabilia, and you go through it all. And so we did that, and I found this like worksheet we had done when we were first married. And it talked about, these are the ways that you can love me and these different things. So one of the things that he had written was, when I'm sick, make sure you take care of me real well. I mean, his self-awareness is like spot on. He is continuously consistent with that to this day. He feels a tickle in his throat. It's like 2 days fetal position. You know? But I think this concept of like cheat sheet for life is like a really good idea. Like every 5 years you should update it. Be like, this is me now, okay? Don't be surprised. This is who I am. So I made us both a cheat sheet. So this would be my husband's cheat sheet. First thing it would say is, if I grill for you and you ask me for a condiment, don't expect me to talk to you for 1 to 2 hours. This next one would be, you know, every night I don't really need more than 7 hours of sleep. I don't need any more. And then I will proceed to sleep for a minimum of 10 hours every night and nap on the weekends. Another thing on his cheat sheet would be, Jesus is my number 1, you're my number 2, fans are my number 3. I literally love them. When the fan is not on, all I think about is, why is the air not blowing on me? And when the air is on, I am thinking, wow, and when the fan is blowing, I'm thinking, how much I love this fan. Number 4 for his cheat sheet would be, I am not opposed to house projects. I'm just opposed to completing house projects. So I like, my sweet spot's about 85%, and then I like to leave that last 15% for 2 to 3 years. If you come to me with a question like, you're so close, honey, why don't you finish it? It will literally have no impact on the timeline. My cheat sheet would be, I don't have any gas. I know I just filled it. I don't know where the gas went. I don't even know where I went, but can we take your car? My second one would be our phone. My phone is going to be between 10% and 0 battery 50% of the time. I don't know where the plugs are. I don't know where the cords are. And when I do know where they are, I don't remember to plug them in. So just expect to get my voicemail. My third one would be, I don't know why the drawers in the cupboards don't shut. I literally bring thousands of things to this marriage. Shut drawers is not one of them. I promise you I shut the drawer. I don't know why it's open. Maybe it was the sheer force of me shutting it. I literally don't know why I can't do it. It's just not something God has blessed me with. And the last one would be, expect to find out the plans for your life from some random person at church or in a grocery store. I know we live together, but it literally never crosses my mind to tell you what you're going to be doing the next day. You know, we all need, with marriage, we all need grace, we all need help. And I don't know if you guys know this, but the pastor just put out a podcast called Living After Sunday. It's pretty awesome. And they did it. It's great. Very professionally done, by the way. So he just put it out, and I appreciate we need to take the sermon into the week, right? We need to make it practical. But I would just like to tell you, I think the hardest part for me of living out the sermon is the hour before and the hour after church. Okay? So this is what happens in our house. We are 9 a.m.ers. Okay? We are 9 a.m.ers. The alarm should be going off at 7:30. 8 o'clock, everyone is still sleeping. I don't know what has happened. From there, the 7-year-old will get up and she can't find her wallet and she is broken on the ground. Why does she need her wallet? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. The 12-year-old says she has nothing to wear, while the 2-year-old will literally wear nothing. And then the 14-year-old is upstairs taking a shower, completely oblivious to time or the cost of water. By the time we get in the car, someone is mad at someone else or multiple people. Then we pull up to church, we get out of the car, and I proceed to tell everyone, you better smile when we walk up there. You better walk together, and you better say nice things to those door greeters. They stay late to open those doors for us. You know who you are, you're probably here. So we go into church, we get a great sermon, feeling real convicted, and I'm like so inspired, like I'm going to nail this. We walk out of church. I pick up the 7-year-old at Kids Care, and she gives me a piece of art that pretty much has a full bottle of glue and glitter on it. And I can't tell her I love it, because I don't. So, and then she pulls like the trump card on me, and she's like, can you hold it so I can put it up in my room when we get home? I was literally just thinking, this church needs more trash cans. We then go to the cafe, and I tell everybody, choose something healthy. They ask for Takis and cookies. And then I proceed to buy them donuts the size of their face. We sit down, and there I see it out of the corner of my eye on the table next to me, and I don't want to look because I will be overwhelmed with jealousy. Finally, its radiance captures my eye. The Frisbee-sized apple fritter is just staring at me, asking for me to eat it. Finally, I get up, and I'm able to have a conversation with a friend in the lobby. And then from a distance, I hear a cry, and I think, whose child is that? You know, some women are born with this instinct where there could be like 100 babies crying. And they're like, I hear my baby. One baby cries. I was like, is that my baby? Like, I have no idea. I have no idea whose child is crying. I don't know if it's mine. It's lived with me for how long. I have no idea. So I look across the lobby, finally find it. Oh yes, that's my baby. And two thoughts crossed my mind. How did she get all the way on the other side of the lobby? And where are her shoes? But then I would think, you know, like I want to put the church through an exercise here. I'm pretty sure 2.5 years ago when I stood on that stage and dedicated that child, we asked if the church was going to see this child rise up and as they go. Now I could go over there and get my child, but I would rob the church of the blessing of them stepping into that moment. Now mind you, from this entire time that we have walked out of the sanctuary, my husband has been in the corner with 3 men laughing the entire time. I don't even think he remembers he came with us. Finally, it's time to leave. And I don't know about you guys, but there's these like weird force fields at the door. I'm like, get your sister, get the diaper bag, we gotta go. 10 minutes later, I'm deep in a conversation in the lobby. I'm like, oh, we're trying this again. Where's your brother? Get my purse. We have to get to Sam's. We have so much to do this afternoon. 7 minutes later, I'm on the other side of the lobby in a conversation. Finally, you hear the music for second service come on. The force field falls. And for our family, new force fields arise, drawing us to Home Depot, Target, or Chili's. When you think about the music that comes on, you know, I just think life would be better if there was just a soundtrack playing at random times in your day. I just feel like they would zhuzh your life up. So here would be a sample of what my day might be like. I get up every morning, our cat Peanut wakes me up. He's scratching the side of the bed, he's hitting me with his face. I finally wake up and I hear, oh, shoot, what did I? Okay, let me set it up again. hitting me in the head, looking at me, and I wake up and I hear, here she is to worship, here she is to bow down, here she is to say that I'm her God. That's the cat singing to me, okay? Then, getting everyone ready. I need just like some peace of mind before I start my day. I'm like, let me just go to the bathroom by myself. I sit down in the toilet, I look up, there is a child. And I think, I can only imagine what it would be like if I could pee all alone. On the way to work, I hit up a Starbucks. And I really love those seasonal drinks they have. So I go in and I'm like, oh, maybe I can still get one in. And I say, do you guys still have that pumpkin spice latte? And they're like, I'm sorry, ma'am, we've retired those for the season. You take a deep breath and you say, it is well with my soul. End of the day, I pick up my daughter, I take her to a volleyball game. As I'm driving her there, I'm telling her, just try your best. We love you. I just love watching you play. She walks out the door and I hear, I want to see your victory. I want to see your victory. It's the end of the night. Somehow my husband has a work plan, so he is not there and I have to feed the children. So I open that fridge up and I grab, unfortunately, a brand new bottle of pickles that is screwed on so tight. And I think, Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Thank you, Calvary Chapel.